What if your warehouse didn't store products at all, but still shipped them faster and cheaper than ever before? It's called cross-docking, and it's how giants like Walmart move millions of products every single day. In this video, you'll understand what cross-docking really is, how the process works step by step, its different types, real-world examples, when and why businesses use it. Let's start. What is cross-docking? Cross-docking is a logistics process in which products received at a distribution center or warehouse are immediately sorted, consolidated, and transferred to outbound vehicles without being stored in inventory. Formally, cross-docking can be defined as a distribution practice where inbound goods are unloaded, sorted, and reloaded onto outbound vehicles with minimal or no storage time, typically within 24 hours. In ideal cross-docking, goods may remain in the facility for only a few minutes to a few hours. Objectives of cross-docking. The primary goals of cross-docking are reduce inventory holding costs, minimize warehousing space requirements, decrease order cycle time, improve product flow velocity, reduce double handling of goods, enhance responsiveness to customer demand, lower transportation and labor costs. How cross-docking works. Step-by-step process. Step 1. Pre-arrival planning. Suppliers send an advanced shipping notice, ASN, to the distribution center, detailing product type, quantity, destination, expected arrival time. This enables warehouse teams to plan dock allocation and outbound vehicle readiness. Step 2. Inbound receiving. Goods arrive at the inbound dock and are unloaded. Basic checks include barcode scanning, quantity verification, damage inspection, matching against ASN. Unlike traditional warehousing, goods are not stored in racks or bins. Step 3. Sorting and segregation. Products are sorted based on destination store, customer order, delivery route, shipment priority. This process may be manual or automated using conveyor belts and industrial scanners. Step 4. Consolidation. Products from multiple suppliers may be grouped together to form a complete outbound shipment for a specific store, a customer, a geographic region. This step improves transportation efficiency and reduces partial shipments. Step 5. Outbound loading. Once sorted and consolidated, goods are directly loaded onto outbound trucks, trailers, or containers. Goods leave the facility without entering long-term inventory. Types of cross-docking. Pre-distribution cross-docking. In this model, the distribution destination is determined before the goods arrive. Products arrive already labeled for specific stores or customers. Minimal handling occurs. Common in retail sector. Example, a retailer instructs suppliers to label goods for individual stores. When shipments reach the DC, they are directly transferred to specific outbound trucks. Post-distribution cross-docking. Here, sorting and allocation decisions are made at the cross-dock facility. Goods arrive unallocated. Warehouse decides final destination based on demand or routing. Example, a logistics hub receives generic packaged goods and allocates them to different retailers based on real-time sales data. Opportunistic cross-docking. Products originally planned for storage are instead cross-docked if immediate outbound demand exists. This approach provides flexibility and maximizes space utilization. Real-world example of cross-docking. Example, Walmart's cross-docking model. Walmart pioneered cross-docking in retail logistics. Its suppliers deliver goods to centralized distribution centers where products are immediately transferred to outbound trucks headed for stores. Products spend less than 24 hours in the DC. Inventory holding cost is dramatically reduced. Store replenishment speed is enhanced. Transportation is optimized through consolidation. This strategy enables Walmart to offer lower prices while maintaining high product availability. When cross-docking should be used. Cross-docking is most effective when demand is predictable and stable. Products are fast-moving. Lead times are consistent. Shipping volumes are high. Products require minimal inspection. Perishable goods or time-sensitive items are involved. Common industries using cross-docking. Retail and FMCG. Grocery and fresh produce. Pharmaceuticals. Automotive spare parts. E-commerce fulfillment. Requirements for successful cross-docking. 1. Advanced Information Systems. Warehouse Management System, WMS. Real-time visibility software. RFID and barcode scanning. 2. Accurate demand forecasting. Precise demand planning ensures outbound vehicles are scheduled correctly. 3. Supplier coordination. Timely and accurate delivery schedules are crucial. 4. Synchronized transportation. Inbound and outbound logistics must be perfectly coordinated to avoid congestion. Benefits and challenges of cross-docking. Lower inventory carrying costs. Reduced warehouse space requirements. Faster customer order fulfillment. Decreased material handling. Improved supply chain velocity. Reduced risk of product damage. Enhanced operational efficiency. Despite its advantages, cross-docking has constraints. High dependency on supplier reliability. Requires strong IT infrastructure. Sensitive to delivery delays. Limited flexibility for demand fluctuations. Ineffective for slow-moving products. Risk of operational congestion if poorly planned. Conclusion. Cross-docking is a strategic logistics approach that transforms the warehouse from a storage facility into a high-speed transfer hub. By reducing storage time and accelerating product flow, organizations can achieve significant cost savings and service level improvements. However, the success of cross-docking depends on meticulous planning, technological integration, and synchronization across the supply chain. When implemented correctly, it becomes a powerful tool for achieving lean, efficient, and responsive logistics operations. That's it for today. If you found this video valuable, hit like, subscribe, and comment below. Join our membership to get more perks. Thanks for watching.